young waitress offered her sandwich to a little girl. Didn't know her father was a millionaire and... Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's return to our main character. The rain had turned the late evening sidewalk slick, the kind of cold that crawled under a person's clothes and stayed there. Inside the small 24-hour diner on Maple Street, the soft hum of the refrigerator blended with the clatter of utensils and the faint hiss of the grill. It was nearly closing time, and most booths were empty except for a few regulars sipping the last of their coffee. Behind the counter stood Lily Monroe, a young waitress with tired eyes and a ponytail that had loosened after a long shift. Her apron smelled faintly of fries and dish soap, and in her pocket was the sandwich she'd saved for her own dinner. A simple turkey and cheese on white bread, wrapped in thin deli paper. She kept touching it through the fabric of her apron like a reminder. This was all she had to eat tonight. Rent was due in 2 days. Her mother's medical prescriptions were stacked on the kitchen table at home, and Lily had picked up every shift she could just to keep them afloat. She was thinking about warming that sandwich in the microwave when the bell over the diner's door jingled. A small figure slipped inside. A little girl, maybe 6 or 7, soaked to the bone, cheeks red from the cold. Her coat was thin, her sneakers wet, and her hair clung to her forehead in dark strands. She stood near the door at first, shivering, as if unsure whether she was allowed to step any farther. Lily's brows knit together. Kids didn't usually wander in alone at this hour. "Hey, sweetheart," she said softly, walking around the counter. "Are you lost? Is your mom or dad with you?" The girl shook her head, tiny droplets of water scattering off her bangs. Her stomach growled loud enough that Lily heard it over the diner's low radio. The sound hit Lily like a hand squeezing her heart. She knew that feeling, empty, aching, relentless. Lily knelt, so she was eye level with the child. "Are you hungry?" The girl hesitated before giving the smallest nod. It would have been easy for Lily to say she had nothing to spare. Easy to tell the girl to wait while she called the police. Easy to pretend she didn't see the hunger in those wide, scared eyes. Instead, without thinking, she reached into her apron and pulled out her sandwich, the only food she had for the night. She unwrapped it halfway and placed it gently into the girl's cold little hands. "Here, you can have it." The girl stared at it first like she couldn't believe it was real. Then she took a tiny bite, then a bigger one, and within seconds she was devouring it like someone who hadn't eaten all day. Lily's throat tightened. "Easy," she whispered, putting a hand on the girl's back. "You're safe now." A few crumbs clung to the girl's lips. She looked up with grateful eyes glistening under the diner lights. "Thank you," she murmured, her voice raspy and small. And then she did something unexpected. She dug into her pocket and pulled out a tiny sticker, shaped like a yellow star, a bit crinkled at the edges. She pressed it into Lily's palm. "For you." Lily blinked, stunned by the simple gesture. "Thank you, sweetheart. That's really special." She didn't know it yet, but that tiny star, the smallest, simplest thing, would become the key to everything that came next. For now, all she saw was a lonely little girl eating the only meal Lily had to give. And somewhere outside in the dark, a man was searching desperately for his daughter. A man Lily had no idea was about to walk straight into her life and change it forever. The little girl finished the sandwich so quickly that Lily wondered how long it had been since her last real meal. Lily gently wiped a crumb from the child's chin with the corner of a napkin, her voice soft and careful. "Sweetheart, what is your name?" The girl swallowed hard, her small fingers tightening around the crinkled deli paper. "Mia," she whispered. Her voice sounded like it had been hiding for hours. "Mia," Lily repeated with a warm smile. "Do you know where your dad is? Is he close by?" Mia's eyes flicked toward the diner windows, the glass fogged from the warmth inside. She shook her head. "I was looking. I was trying to find him, but people did not stop." Lily felt her chest tighten again. She glanced at the clock on the wall. It was late, the kind of late that made the streets less forgiving and the world a little colder. She reached out and gently took the girl's hand. "You are safe here. We will figure it out. Nobody is leaving you alone tonight." Mia nodded slowly as if she was unsure whether to believe such kindness still existed in the world. Lily looked around the diner. Her boss had already left an hour earlier, trusting Lily to close up on her own. The last couple of customers shuffled out, leaving a quiet stillness in the room. Lily locked the door behind them, then turned the sign to closed. It was just the two of them now, surrounded by the smell of cooling fries and the low hum of fluorescent lights. "Do you want some warm milk?" Lily asked. "It helps my sister sleep when she is scared." Mia nodded again. So Lily warmed some milk in a small ceramic mug and added a drop of honey from the diner's stash. When Mia wrapped both hands around the cup, a bit of color returned to her cheeks. As Mia drank, Lily pulled out her phone, tapping the screen nervously. "We need to call someone," she thought. But Mia tugged the sleeve of her uniform. "Please," she whispered, "do not call anyone yet. He will find me. My dad always finds me." Lily crouched in front of her. "Okay, just for now." She did not understand the situation fully, but she could feel how fragile the girl's trust was. Instead, she asked gently, "Can you tell me what happened?" Mia stared into her milk as if the answers might float to the surface. "We were at the bookstore," she said slowly. "Dad was on the phone. I was looking at a shelf, and then I turned, and he was gone." Lily nodded in understanding. "It happens. The world gets busy." "But then the store people said they could not find him," Mia whispered. "They tried calling the number, but the signal was bad. I thought maybe he went home, so I walked. But it was dark and I got scared." Lily felt a protective instinct swell inside her. The child had walked through cold rain, wandering alone, looking for her father with no idea where she truly was. She could have been hurt. She could have ended up anywhere. Lily exhaled shakily, brushing a damp strand of hair from Mia's forehead. "You were very brave, Mia. Very brave." Mia blinked slowly, her eyelids heavy. The warmth of the diner and the milk were pulling her toward sleep. Lily guided her to a booth and let her curl up in the corner seat. She draped her own jacket over the girl, smoothing it down as Mia clutched the fabric like it was something precious. "I will stay right here," Lily whispered. "I promise." Mia's eyes opened halfway. "Will my dad be mad?" Lily shook her head. "No, sweetheart. He will be worried. And when he sees you, he will be so relieved." Mia's small hand reached for Lily's. "Will you stay until he comes?" Lily squeezed it gently. "I will." Minutes passed. Maybe longer. The diner lights flickered softly, the street outside dark except for the occasional passing headlights. Then a sudden shadow crossed the window. A silhouette. Tall. Sharp. Urgent. Someone was running toward the door. Lily felt Mia stir beside her at the exact same moment. The little girl's eyes widened as she whispered one trembling word. "Daddy." And Lily had no idea that the man about to burst through the diner door was not just any worried father, but someone whose name she would soon hear in a way that would change everything she thought she knew about this quiet night on Maple Street. The bell over the diner door clattered as a man rushed inside, breathing hard like he had been sprinting for blocks. His hair was damp from the rain, his chest rising and falling under a dark, tailored coat that looked far too expensive for a neighborhood like this. His eyes scanned the room with frantic precision until they landed on the small figure curled up in the booth. "Mia," he exhaled, voice cracking in the middle. Mia sat up instantly, Lily's jacket still wrapped around her shoulders. "Daddy." The man crossed the diner in long, urgent strides and dropped to his knees beside the booth, scooping the little girl into his arms. He held her so tightly that for a moment Mia winced, but then she melted into him, burying her face in his collar. Lily stepped back, giving them space, watching the man's shoulders shake as he whispered, "I thought I lost you. I thought." He pulled away slightly, inspecting Mia's face, her clothes, her hands, as if needing proof she was real. "Are you hurt? Did anyone talk to you? Did anyone touch you?" Mia shook her head and pointed at Lily. "She helped me. She gave me food." Only then did the man seem to notice Lily standing a few feet away, still holding a dish towel she had forgotten she was carrying. His eyes softened for a brief moment before filling with something like awe. He stood, lifting Mia into his arms effortlessly. "You are the one who helped her?" Lily nodded. The words were simple, but they felt heavier than she expected. The man swallowed hard, adjusting Mia's weight against his shoulder. "You have no idea what you just did for me," he said, voice low but sincere. "I have been looking for her for nearly 2 hours. The police were searching. Stores shut down. The entire block has been on alert. Lily's eyebrows lifted. That explained the distant sirens she had heard earlier. She looked cold and hungry. Anyone would have done the same. The man shook his head at once. No, not anyone. He looked around the humble diner, at the empty tables, the flickering lights, then back at Lily. You gave your own food to a child you did not know. And you stayed with her when she was scared. Lily shrugged, suddenly self-conscious. It was just a sandwich. It was more than a sandwich, he corrected, glancing at Mia's sleepy face against his shoulder. You gave her comfort. You gave her safety. There was a pause, and Lily watched him breathe in deeply as if trying to steady himself. My name is Adrian, he said finally. Adrian Hale. Lily blinked. She had heard that name before, maybe on the news, maybe on a billboard. Adrian Hale. It rang like a bell she could not quite place. But the weight in his voice made her ask nothing further. Not yet. The man seemed to sense her hesitation and let it go. Instead, he reached into his coat and pulled out something Lily did not expect. A small, glossy business card. He offered it to her. She hesitated before taking it. His eyes softened. I want to thank you properly. People always say they will help when they see someone in need, but rarely do they follow through. You did. Lily tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, glancing at the card. The embossed gold lettering glimmered faintly under the diner lights. But before she could read it, Mia tugged her father's collar. Daddy, she was nice, Mia whispered. She stayed with me. Adrian smiled tiredly. I know, sweetheart. Then he looked at Lily again. I owe you more than I can explain tonight, but I would like to return the kindness you showed my daughter. Lily shook her head lightly. I did not do it for anything in return. Exactly, he replied. That is why it matters. He shifted Mia slightly, preparing to leave. Will you be here tomorrow evening? I want to thank you without all, he gestured around. This chaos. Lily hesitated, then nodded. I have a shift until 7. Adrian gave her a grateful nod and whispered, Thank you, Lily, as if saying her name anchored him. She watched father and daughter step back into the rainy night, Mia waving sleepily from his shoulder. The diner door closed behind them with a soft click. Lily finally looked down at the business card in her hand. The letters stared back at her in bold gold print. Adrian Hale, Chief Executive Officer, Hale Industries. Lily's breath caught in her throat. She had just given her dinner to the daughter of one of the most powerful men in the city. And tomorrow, he was coming back. The next day crawled by slower than any day Lily could remember. Every clatter of dishes, every sizzling sound from the grill, every ring of the diner bell felt louder and sharper as her mind replayed the night before. Each time she reached into her apron pocket and felt the tiny star sticker Mia had given her, her heartbeat flickered with a mix of warmth and nerves. Adrian Hale. She still could not believe it. She had looked up the name the moment her shift ended, her hands trembling as she typed into her old phone. Hale Industries was everywhere. Technology, medical research, renewable energy, children's programs, entire wings of hospitals. Built in his name. She had helped a child she thought was just lost and scared, only to discover her father was someone whose world looked nothing like hers. She had expected to wake up and realize it was all exaggerated in her mind, but the business card on her nightstand made it real. And now it was almost 7. Lily wiped down the counters for the 5th time, even though they were spotless already. The diner had begun to quiet as the dinner rush died down. Her co-worker, Maria, cast her an amused look while filling salt shakers. You keep cleaning that spot. You're going to scrub a hole right through the counter, Maria teased. Lily laughed nervously. Sorry, I just have a lot on my mind. Maria leaned closer. Is it about that man from last night? The one running around like the world was ending. Lily hesitated, then nodded a little. He was looking for his daughter. She wandered in here. I helped her. That was sweet, Maria said, but then paused when she noticed the unease in Lily's eyes. What is wrong? Lily lowered her voice. He said he wanted to come back tonight. To thank me. Maria blinked. Oh, so he is interested. Lily quickly shook her head. No, not like that. He is just grateful. But her words lacked conviction. There was something about Adrian last night. The way his voice softened when he talked to Mia. The way his eyes held gratitude without pride. It was not interest. It was something more complicated, something quiet and earnest. Maria smirked. Well, whoever he is, he must be special if he had you pacing holes in the floor. Before Lily could answer, The diner bell chimed. The door opened. Her breath caught. It was him. Adrian stepped inside wearing a dark sweater and a coat that looked less formal than the night before. He was holding Mia's hand, and the little girl's smile brightened the entire room. Lily felt something warm bloom in her chest when Mia let go of her father's hand and ran straight to her. Lily, Mia beamed, hugging her around the waist. Daddy said we could come say thank you. Lily knelt, smoothing Mia's hair. I am glad you are safe. Adrian approached with a calmer energy tonight, but there was still something intense in his eyes, something that had not slept well. Hi, he said softly. I hope this is still a good time. Lily stood awkwardly. Yes. Yes, of course. Maria nudged Lily from behind the counter, whispering, I am taking my break, before disappearing into the back with a wink. Adrian glanced around. I thought maybe we could sit, just for a moment. Lily led them to a booth near the window. Mia slid in first. Adrian sat across from Lily, his hands folded on the table. I wanted to thank you properly, he began. Last night was one of the worst nights of my life. I should never have lost her, and the idea that she was wandering alone, his voice tightened. Lily interrupted gently. She is all right now. That is what matters. Adrian looked at her with a softness that made Lily's breath catch. She is all right because of you. He reached into his coat and set a small envelope on the table. I know you did not help her for anything in return, but there is something I want to offer you. Lily stared at the envelope, her pulse roaring in her ears. You do not have to do that. I know, Adrian said, but I need to. Mia leaned forward eagerly. Daddy says you deserve something special. Lily smiled nervously, touching the envelope as if it might burn her fingers. What is this? Adrian hesitated for a moment and then said quietly, a chance. Something that might make your life easier. Something you more than earned. Before Lily could ask anything else, the diner lights flickered from a passing car outside, and for a split second, she felt something shift, like this moment was the beginning of something far bigger than she understood. And she had no idea just how much her life was about to change. For a long moment, Lily just stared at the envelope resting between them like it was something fragile or dangerous or both. Her fingers brushed the edge of it, and she felt the weight of Adrian's gaze, steady and sincere, waiting for her to breathe, to speak, to do anything other than freeze. Mia swung her legs under the booth, humming softly to herself as if this moment was perfectly ordinary, as if her father did not look like a man holding his breath. Finally, Lily slid a thumb under the flap and opened the envelope. Inside was a neatly folded letter and a card. Not a business card. Something different. Something official. She unfolded the letter first. Her eyes scanned the page, and her heartbeat stumbled. It was a voucher. A full scholarship voucher for the Hale Culinary Scholarship Program, including tuition, materials, and a small living stipend. Her hand trembled. I think there is a mistake, she whispered. Adrian shook his head. There is no mistake. She blinked slowly, trying to make sense of the words. This is for me. It is because of you, he corrected. Because of what you did for Mia. Because of who you are. Lily looked up sharply. You do not even know who I am. Adrian leaned forward, elbows resting gently on the table. I know enough. You gave your only meal to a child you had never met. You stayed with her when she was scared. And when I walked in last night, you protected her without knowing anything about me. Lily swallowed hard, her throat tight. But this is too much. It is not charity, Adrian said, his voice calm but unyielding. It is an opportunity. One I believe you deserve. Mia chimed in cheerfully. Daddy says you are a really good person. Lily felt her cheeks warm. Thank you, sweetheart, she murmured before turning back to Adrian. Why a culinary scholarship? Adrian smiled slightly. Because you light up every time you talk about food. Because when you spoke to Mia last night, you told her that warm milk with honey helps your sister sleep. Because you brought comfort to my daughter the same way someone brings comfort through a meal. He paused, eyes softening. And because I read your application. Lily froze. My application? The one you sent to the community culinary grant last month, he explained. You mentioned working double shifts, caring for your mother, and dreaming of opening a small bistro someday. Lily's heart sank. That application was rejected. By the grant committee, Adrian said. Not by me. She stared at him. He looked back with the calm of someone who had already decided something important. Lily, I oversee the Hale Foundation. Your application crossed my desk. I remembered your name the moment you told me last night. She felt the world tilt slightly. You read it? I did, he said, and I was impressed. But there were limited slots for that particular program. This scholarship is separate, and it is mine to give. Lily sat back, overwhelmed. This was not what she had expected. She had thought he might offer her a thank you card or a small gesture. But this was her entire life being rewritten in a single moment. I do not know if I can accept this, she whispered. You can, Adrian replied gently. And you should. Mia reached across the table, placing her tiny hand over Lily's. Please come. Daddy says people like you make the world happy. Lily smiled weakly, her eyes stinging. She looked back at the scholarship letter, the printed lines swimming slightly. I just wanted to help her, she whispered. That is all I was trying to do. And that, Adrian said softly, is exactly why you deserve something good to happen. The diner felt oddly quiet, like the whole room was waiting for her answer. Lily inhaled slowly, her chest tightening and loosening at the same time. If I say yes, then your training starts next month, Adrian finished. Part-time at first, so you can keep your job until you feel steady. The foundation will cover the rest. Lily exhaled, a long, shaky breath that felt like letting go of years of fear. I think I want to try. Mia clapped her hands. Adrian smiled with relief. Good. But Lily noticed something else in his eyes, something softer, something unspoken. Gratitude, yes. Admiration, maybe. Or something beginning. Something small and warm, like the star sticker still tucked safely in her apron pocket. And she had no idea that this was only the beginning of the connection forming quietly between their worlds, a connection that neither of them had expected, but both would soon feel in ways they could not ignore. The days that followed moved in a strange, dreamy rhythm for Lily, like her world had quietly shifted without warning. Every morning when she woke up, the scholarship letter sat on her nightstand like proof that she had not imagined it. And every evening when she walked into the diner for another long shift, she felt the warm buzz of something new blooming inside her, something she had not felt in years. Hope. Real, solid, terrifying hope. But what surprised her most was how often Adrian and Mia appeared in her thoughts. She tried to ignore it, telling herself it was only because of the scholarship, but each time she touched the star sticker tucked inside her apron, she felt the softness of Mia's little hand again, the sincerity in Adrian's eyes, the quiet gratitude in his voice. And then, on Wednesday evening, just 3 days after the diner meeting, the bell jingled, and there they were. Adrian and Mia stepped inside like they belonged there, like this small diner had become part of their routine. Mia rushed toward Lily with a bright smile. Lily, Daddy said we could come after school. Lily's heart warmed instantly. She knelt to give Mia a gentle hug. I am glad you did. How was school today? Mia launched into an enthusiastic explanation about her art class, something involving finger paints, and a very confused substitute teacher. Adrian stood nearby, watching them with a quiet smile. Lily noticed he looked less exhausted today, more grounded. Maybe even happier. We did not want to interrupt your work, he said. Lily shook her head. You are not interrupting anything. Maria, wiping down a nearby table, whispered dramatically. Girl, I swear that man steps into a room and the temperature goes up 10 degrees. Lily elbowed her lightly. Maria grinned and carried plates into the back. Adrian slid into a booth while Mia climbed in beside him. Lily stood across from them, suddenly aware of the diner lights reflecting off Adrian's dark hair, of the way his sleeves were rolled to his forearms, of the quiet strength he carried even when he was relaxed. She felt a small flush rise to her cheeks and pulled her notepad from her apron even though she already knew what Mia wanted. Grilled cheese with extra cheese, Mia announced proudly. And tomato soup. Lily smiled. Of course. And for you? She asked, looking at Adrian. Whatever you recommend, he said. Lily paused, surprised. You are trusting my recommendation? Completely. She felt that warmth again, the one she could not quite name. After placing their orders, she returned to the counter. But even as she chopped vegetables and stirred soup, her eyes drifted toward the booth. Watching them was like watching a picture she did not know she missed. A father leaning down to listen to his daughter's rambling stories, his hand brushing her hair aside, his expression soft and patient. A man who led companies, signed contracts, shaped entire industries, becoming just a dad in a diner booth with a little girl who trusted him completely. When the food was ready, Lily carried the plates over. Mia clapped excitedly. Adrian inhaled the warm scent. "This smells incredible," he said. Lily laughed. "It is just grilled cheese and soup." "Perhaps," Adrian said, "but not everyone can make the simplest things feel comforting." He looked at her for a moment too long, and Lily felt her chest tighten. Mia tugged her father's sleeve. "Daddy, Lily is going to cooking school because of you." Lily shook her head quickly. "Because of your scholarship program," she corrected. Adrian smiled slightly. "Because you earned it." Lily opened her mouth to respond, but the diner bell jingled again as a few customers entered, interrupting the moment. She excused herself and returned to work, but her mind stayed with the booth in the corner. She glanced over once and saw Mia dipping her grilled cheese into the soup, swinging her legs in the booth. Adrian was watching her with an expression so full of love it almost hurt to look at. And then his eyes lifted and met Lily's across the diner. For a heartbeat, neither of them looked away. It was not romantic. Not yet. But it was something honest. Something that recognized the connection forming between them. When Lily returned to clear the plates later, Mia handed her a drawing. A picture of the three of them inside the diner. Lily laughed softly. "This is beautiful, Mia." "That is you," Mia announced, pointing at the figure behind the counter. "And that is Daddy. And that is me." Adrian stood and slid the drawing toward Lily. "She insisted you keep it." Lily folded the paper carefully. "I will." When they left that evening, Mia hugged Lily again, and Adrian gave her a nod that held quiet meaning. Something deeper than words. And as Lily watched them disappear into the night, she realized the shift she had felt inside herself had grown even stronger. She had helped a little girl once, without expecting anything. And now, without knowing how or when it had happened, their lives were beginning to intertwine in a way she never could have predicted. For the next week, Adrian and Mia became a quiet rhythm in Lily's life. They stopped by the diner 3 times, sometimes for dinner, sometimes just for dessert, and each visit pulled them all a little closer together in a way Lily could not explain yet. She found herself looking forward to the sound of the bell over the door, the sight of Mia's bright smile, the warmth in Adrian's eyes when he saw her. But life, especially Lily's life, had never been simple, and the universe seemed determined to remind her. On a gray Thursday afternoon, just hours before her shift, Lily came home to find her mother sitting at the small kitchen table, one hand pressed to her chest, the other trembling as she tried to read the label on a prescription bottle. "Mom." Lily rushed to her side, dropping her purse. "What happened?" Her mother shook her head weakly. "Just dizzy. I forgot to eat again. This medicine needs food, but we are out of groceries." Lily felt a stab of guilt so sharp it made her breath catch. She had been so focused on the scholarship, on the possibility of a new future, that she had let things slip at home without even realizing it. "I will make you something right now," Lily said, grabbing a pan. But her mother touched her arm gently. "Lily, have you been doing all right? You look different lately. Lighter. Happier." Lily blinked, startled. "I do, yes," her mother said with a tired smile. "It has been a long time since I saw that in you." Lily paused. She thought of Mia's laughter, the way Adrian said her name, the scholarship letter still taped carefully above her nightstand. "Things have been good," Lily admitted softly. "Different. Someone helped me. Someone kind." Her mother squeezed her hand. "Then you hold on to that. You deserve kindness." Lily swallowed back emotion. "Let me get you something to eat." After settling her mother comfortably with soup and crackers, she hurried to the diner, arriving just minutes before her shift began. She tied her apron with shaky fingers, her mind still half at home. The bell jingled. Her breath caught without meaning to. Adrian and Mia walked in. But something was different. Adrian's posture was tense, his jaw set, his hand firmly holding Mia's as if he was worried she might vanish again. Mia waved excitedly when she saw Lily, but Adrian's expression was off. Lily approached their booth cautiously. "Hi, is everything all right?" Adrian exhaled slowly. "It will be." His voice was steady, but there was an edge beneath it. "I am sorry if we are coming at a bad time," he said. "I did not mean to make you feel obligated." "You never make me feel obligated," Lily replied softly. "What is wrong?" Adrian hesitated, then reached into his coat and placed his phone face up on the table. On the screen was a headline from a business gossip site. CEO Adrian Hale scene with new mystery woman at local diner. Below it was a blurry photo of Lily bringing food to the booth 2 nights earlier. The caption read, "Unknown waitress sparks rumors about Hale's private life." Lily felt the blood drain from her face. I did not know anyone took pictures. Neither did I, Adrian said. And normally I would not care. But the comments, he stopped. He did not need to continue. Lily knew how ruthless the world could be. People who did not know her, who had never spoken to her, would tear her apart for simply existing in a picture beside him. "I am so sorry," she whispered. "This is my fault. I brought attention you did not need." "Lily," Adrian said gently, "stop. You did nothing wrong." She tried to steady her breathing. "But people will think. Let them think," he said firmly. "I am not ashamed to be seen with you." His voice was strong, but Lily could hear the frustration beneath it. Not at her. At the situation. At the world. Mia climbed onto her knees and tapped Lily's hand. "Do not be sad," she said sweetly. "Daddy said people say silly things because they do not know the truth." Lily smiled weakly. "Your dad is right." Adrian leaned closer. "I can have the article taken down. My team can handle the rest." Lily shook her head. "That will not stop people from talking. And you have a company to protect." "I have a daughter to protect," Adrian corrected. "And you protected her first." Her breath caught. For a moment, everything went still. But then reality came crashing back. "Maybe you should not come here anymore," Lily whispered. "Not until things calm down." Mia's face fell immediately. "But I want to see you." "I want to see you too," Lily said, voice breaking slightly. Adrian's eyes softened with something that looked painfully close to hurt. "If that is truly what you want." "It is not," Lily said quickly. "But I do not want to complicate your life." "You are not the complication," he replied. His words were quiet. Heavy. True. But Lily could not bring herself to believe she would not cause him more trouble. She stepped back from the booth, blinking away the sting in her eyes. "I will get your usual order," she said. Adrian watched her go, his expression unreadable, while Mia whispered, "Daddy." Lily looked sad. And Adrian lowered his head and whispered back, "I know." Little did any of them realize this was only the beginning of the storm waiting outside their fragile connection, a storm that would test what they were building more than any of them expected. The tension from that night lingered in Lily's chest long after Adrian and Mia left the diner. She finished her shift on autopilot, wiping tables that were already clean, stacking menus that were already straight, doing anything to keep her hands from shaking. The moment she stepped outside, the cold air hit her like a wall. She wrapped her jacket around herself and walked home quickly, trying to steady her breath. She kept replaying Adrian's expression in her mind, the mixture of frustration and something softer, something she did not dare name. But she also replayed the headline, the comments, the cruel speculation. She had grown up hearing whispers about people like her, people who scraped by paycheck to paycheck. She knew exactly how the world judged anyone who stood too close to someone like Adrian Hale. And now that judgment was pointed directly at her. When she got home, her mother was asleep on the couch, a blanket pulled up to her chin. Lily kissed her forehead and whispered, "Everything is going to be okay," even though she was not sure she believed it. She lay awake for hours, staring at the scholarship letter taped to her wall. By morning, she had convinced herself that distancing herself from Adrian was for the best. It would protect her, protect Mia, protect his reputation. It had to be the right decision. But when her shift ended that evening, and the bell over the diner door did not ring with Mia running toward her, Lily felt a surprising ache settle in her chest. 2 days passed. 3, 4. No sign of them. No tiny voice calling her name. No warm smile across the booth. No quiet nod from Adrian that made her heart stutter. The emptiness grew heavier with each day. On the 5th day, Lily was refilling coffee cups when Maria leaned close and whispered, "You look like someone stole your sunshine." "I am fine," Lily said quickly, but her voice broke on the last word. Maria crossed her arms. "You have not smiled in days. And every time that door opens, you look like you are searching for someone." Lily swallowed hard. "They are better off without me." Maria shook her head. "If that is true, why do you look heartbroken?" Before Lily could respond, the bell over the door jingled again. She did not look up this time. She could not keep letting herself hope. She placed the coffee pot back on the burner, grabbed an order pad, and forced herself toward the front counter. Then she froze. Because standing right there, in rumpled clothes and tired eyes, was Adrian. Alone. He looked like he had not slept in days. His tie was loosened, his hair was slightly messy, and his expression made Lily's breath catch. "Where is Mia?" she asked before she could stop herself. "With her grandmother," Adrian said softly. "But she wanted to come. She misses you." Lily's chest tightened painfully. "You should not be here," she whispered. "I thought that is what you wanted." Adrian stepped closer, lowering his voice. "But I cannot stay away when there is something I need to say." She shook her head. "You saw what happened online. People were cruel. They will keep being cruel. It is easier for everyone if we stay away from each other." "Easier," Adrian repeated, his voice cracking. "Maybe, but it is not right." Lily felt her resolve slipping. "Adrian, you have a company to protect. A daughter. A reputation the world examines under a microscope." Adrian exhaled deeply. "And what about you? What about the girl who gave her only meal to a child she did not know? What about the woman who has been carrying her whole family on her shoulders for years?" Lily did not answer. Her eyes burned. "I cannot let my presence make your life harder," she whispered. "You are not the problem," Adrian said firmly. "The problem is that I walked away because I thought I was protecting you. But these last few days, I realized I made everything worse." Lily's voice trembled. "I just wanted to keep you safe. You and Mia." Adrian's jaw tightened with emotion. "We were safer with you than without you." There was a long, fragile silence. Then he reached into his coat pocket and pulled out something small. A folded piece of paper. Lily hesitated before taking it. She unfolded it and felt her breath hitch. It was the drawing. Mia's drawing. The one of the three of them together at the diner. But now there was something new. A tiny star sticker pressed beside Lily's figure. "She said you forgot your star," Adrian murmured. Lily covered her mouth with her hand. "She missed you," he added. "We both did." Her voice cracked. "What do you want from me, Adrian?" His answer was quiet but unwavering. "A chance. A real one. No hiding. No distance. Just honesty." Lily felt her heart pounding, her chest aching with a mixture of fear, longing, and something she had tried so hard to deny. The diner around them faded into a soft blur as Adrian stepped closer. "I am not asking for anything more than your choice," he said gently. "Do you want me to walk away? Or do you want us to see where this goes?" Lily's breath trembled as she whispered, I do not know what is going to happen." Adrian nodded, eyes soft. "You do not have to. You just have to decide whether you want me here." And for the first time since that blurry photo appeared online, Lily realized she finally had a choice. Not fear. Not doubt. Just choice. For a long moment, Lily stood frozen in the middle of the diner, the drawing trembling in her hands. She traced the tiny star sticker with her thumb, the same one Mia had pressed into her palm that first night, and something inside her cracked open. She had spent so much of her life bracing for disappointment, preparing herself for things to fall apart before they could begin, that she had forgotten what it felt like to choose something good without fear. Adrian waited, not moving, not pushing, just watching her with eyes full of a quiet hope that made her chest ache. The diner hummed softly around them, the low buzz of lights and the distant clatter from the kitchen blending into a familiar background. But in that moment, the world felt very still. Lily lowered the drawing slowly. "I do not want you to walk away," she said, her voice barely more than a whisper. Adrian's shoulders relaxed, and he let out a breath that sounded like it had been held for days. "Then I am here," he said softly, "for as long as you want me to be." The tension in Lily's chest melted, replaced by something warm and steady. She felt it bloom across her ribs, down her arms, all the way to her fingertips. "I cannot promise everything will be easy," she said. Adrian smiled faintly. "Nothing worth having ever is." The bell over the door jingled suddenly. Both of them turned as Mia burst inside, her grandmother following a few steps behind. "Daddy," Mia called out, spotting Adrian. "You left without me." Adrian blinked and laughed quietly. "I needed to talk to someone important," he said, glancing at Lily. Mia ran directly to Lily, hugging her waist tightly. "I missed you," she said into Lily's apron. Lily kneeled, hugging her back. "I missed you too." Mia pulled away, her eyes wide and hopeful. "Are you going to come with us now? We brought something for you." Her grandmother lifted a small bakery box. "We stopped at the French bakery down the street," she explained kindly. "Mia insisted we bring Lily her favorite pastries." even though I told her we do not know your favorite yet. Mia grabbed Lily's hand excitedly. So we got one of everything. Lily laughed, the sound full and bright, shaking her head gently. That is a lot of pastries. We wanted to celebrate, Mia said. Daddy said today is special. Adrian stepped closer. It is, he said, his voice steady but full of meaning. If you want it to be. Lily stood slowly, the bakery box in her hands, and looked from Mia to Adrian. She saw a family, imperfect and real, reaching out to her with trust and kindness. And for the first time, she let herself reach back. Okay, she whispered. Let us celebrate. Mia clapped so loudly that even the customers across the diner turned and smiled. Adrian offered his hand. Lily hesitated only a moment before placing her hand in his. His grip was warm and gentle, a promise rather than a claim. They sat together in the booth. The same booth where everything had begun, sharing pastries while Mia talked about school and drew little stars across her napkin. It felt natural, comfortable, like something that had already existed. They had simply stepped into it. Later, when the diner lights dimmed for closing time, Adrian walked Lily outside. The night air was cool, and the street was quiet except for the hum of a passing car. They stopped beneath the glow of the streetlight. Adrian looked at her with that same soft steadiness. Lily, he said quietly, I want to be honest with you. Mia cares about you deeply. And so do I. Her breath caught. I care about you too, she admitted. Both of you. His smile deepened. This does not have to move fast. I just want us to move together. Lily felt something settle inside her, something peaceful. She nodded. I want that too. A gentle silence settled between them, warm and full. Then Mia ran out of the diner behind them, waving something in her hand. Lily, you forgot this. She held up a tiny folded napkin covered in hand-drawn stars. Lily took it with a smile. Thank you, Mia. That means we are all stars together now, Mia declared proudly. Adrian laughed and lifted her into his arms. Lily touched the napkin lightly, feeling the softness of the drawing against her palm. She looked at them, the father who had opened a door she never thought she would be allowed to walk through, and the little girl who had unknowingly changed her life the moment she walked into the diner. And Lily realized this was not the end of their story. It was the beginning. She stepped closer, her voice tender. Let us go home. And with Adrian by her side, Mia in his arms, and hope finally steady in her chest, Lily walked into a future she had once believed she could only dream about, unaware of just how bright it would become.